tuned in to WITP Radio, the number one set-apart station in the nation. Hebrew Israelites, we've got next.
You know what's hot in the food world? Waffles and Southern fried chicken on the same plate. Well, since I am the ambassador of Southern cooking, I am bringing back my amazing Popeye's chicken waffle tenders. Chicken and waffles in the same bite. All white meat tenders marinated in my Louisiana spices and then handcrafted with a light, crispy waffle coating. With fries, a biscuit, and my honey maple dipping sauce for just $4.99. Honey, this is a meal that will make your mama shout. Louisiana fast.
Angus steak, brisket, smoked over fire for at least 13 hours. Deli style fork tender corned beef, curly fries. Arby's, we have the meat.
He changed my life. Hands to the sky, all praises to the Most High. Pull me out the dark, brought me into the light. Was set apart, so thankful that He's always on time.
All right, y'all. Shalom, 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 and welcome to WITP Radio. I am your host, Brother YAHUAH Ben Yamin. It is my pleasure to be here with you and hope that you are having a great afternoon, a great morning, a great night, whatever it is and wherever it is with you. We are all blessing and giving thanks to the Most High. Today, it is my absolute pleasure to have with me one of our up-and-coming artists in this wonderful, great Hebrew Israelite movement. And I'll tell you this, I have really come to appreciate and love what this sister does. Her name is YAHUAH. Is that correct, sister?
Yes, it's Amina YAHUAH, yes.
All right, Amina YAHUAH. I'm so sorry about that, but welcome to WITP Radio. It is a pleasure to have you here with us. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling blessed. Blessed to have another morning to, get it right my wrongs, and definitely looking forward to the rest of this day. I appreciate you reaching out. This is really good right here.
Well, I'll tell you this, it is our pleasure ever since we had the opportunity and the pleasure of discovering your music. We have been just elated and delighted in what the Most High is doing you in your projects, and we are excited about what's going to happen. And so we're going to get right off into things. We're going to first start off by asking you if you would please give us a cordial introduction of yourself.
This is Amina YAHUAH coming out of Tacoma, Washington, the northwest corner. Just a sister in this truth, trying to do the will of the Most High,
Hallelujah, hallelujah. And you know what? I will agree with this. As we are being blessed to have more spiritual growth in this movement, I tell you, it's almost as if the Most High is picking and choosing the best to give us in this day and in this time, because we recognize you as being one of the great artists, and thank the Most High for the gift that He has blessed you with. And so without further ado, we're going to move forward into our interview. And again, thank you so much for taking the opportunity to talk with us here at WITP Radio. And we're excited about letting our audience know more about the artists that we play here on WITP Radio. So my first question to you, Amina, is how were you awakened to this truth that we are chosen people of the Most High power of Israel?
How I was awakened was I basically was just living my life, minding my own business. And I was doing what I was supposed to be, working. You kind of have this mentality, as long as you're not out robbing and killing people, that you're, an upstanding citizen in the eyes of the Father. I definitely realized I was wrong. And he kind of just awakened my spirit as far as curiosity.
Okay.
The things that were going on in the world just were not sitting right with me. So he connected me with some people I actually knew in the world that I did a lot of partying with that were already in the truth.
Okay.
And so I had kind of a wide trust these people, and they actually gave me the information that got me started. And I was terrified at first. I'm just gonna be honest, like I had a mini panic attack with the information I was getting at first. I was like, "Are you serious? Like they've been lying to us all this time?" Like I couldn't handle it. But it was like Most High just put it on me to keep seeking, and don't be afraid to know the truth. Like you have to know it. So I'm just thankful for it. I'm thankful for all the stages, all the fear and confusion at first, especially getting me to where I'm at now.
Absolutely. One of the things that I can definitely attest to is that I don't know about anyone else, but I agree with you when it comes to being awakened. There comes with that a certain amount of fear, because what you start to realize is that you start to have questions about what you thought was authentic. And so now you question not only that, but you question almost every aspect of your spirituality, of your life. And so I can totally understand that might be something that would cause some fear in our lives. But we thank the Most High that as we continue to seek Him and study, that we learn that He has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love. And we thank Him for that. And we thank you for allowing Him to continue to minister to you. So in that, I'm going to ask you another question. And the next question that I have for you is, who are your musical influences?
My musical influence, obviously, I don't really listen to a lot of the people who influenced me musically before.
Okay.
But if I were to say anybody, it would kind of be like Anita Baker, Mary J. Blige, Erykah Badu, just the whole energy behind the music. Being able to feel the pain and the happiness behind the emotion of the music. Like, I always strive for that, to give people emotion. And I don't want to give them any type of dry music that's just gonna have you sitting there like, okay, next. You know what I mean?
All great artists, though. All great artists. All great artists. And I don't take anything away from any of them. In fact, I would be remiss to say at WITP Radio, we brag about spelling variety, WITP. And one of the reasons why is because we still play some music. The goal for us is to reach those that are yet babes that are coming out. And so sometimes we have to understand, just like in a relationship, when you meet someone for the first time, you don't automatically become intimate with them. You don't automatically, there's a process, and the process of coming into the truth needs to be where you're introduced to it, and then you're weaned away from what you thought was right, and you're brought into the holiness or into the set apart stage of this belief. And so absolutely, I certainly understand that. And I believe, again, that those that are coming out need to understand that, the Messiah, after being introduced to us, he asked to take us out. And then he woos us once he takes us out. And, that's the way that the relationship starts. And I think that a lot of people get it twisted because they don't understand that this journey that we're on is all about relationship. And so how can you have a relationship with the Most High if you have not been properly introduced to Him? And there should never come to a point where you have intimacy with the Most High if you have not properly been introduced and dated and courted and all of those above things. So that's just my opinion on that. But
there's basically levels to it. Because me, considering like I went from listening to just like hardcore rap, cussing, like all the bad content you can think of. Now I kind of just weeded myself off of that. Started listening still to some hip hop, but content a little better. I would actually purposely shop for the edited, non-cussing version.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I kind of just ease my way off of it, and now, like 98% of the music on my playlist is truth music now.
And I think that's absolutely wonderful that you would say that, because again, for those that are coming out and even for those that are in the truth, you know, one of the things that I'm going to mention, and I don't know how you feel about it, and in fact, if you have a comment, you can certainly make it, but you know, Kendrick Lamar, who announced a while back that he was into the truth, you know, a lot of our people, I noticed, was very excited about him expressing that he was a Hebrew Israelite. And one of the things that got me was, my first thought was, so they still listen to him. That was my first.
Right.
That was my first thought.
Nobody's admitting that, so right. I appreciate you bringing that up.
That was my first thought. Okay, first they still listen to him, and then, you know, I often say to my own personal family, I say, you know, if we are what we eat, and we are what we ingest, then we have to be very mindful of our diet. And our diet not only consists of what we eat, but what we allow to come into our spirits. And so that's why it's important for us to listen to clean music, to listen to clean things, because it helps us to stay pure and clean and have clean thoughts and a clean heart and a clean mind before the Most High. So thank you for that. But yeah, that was my thought on brother, you know, Lamar. Not that I'm taking anything away from him, but the fact of the matter is, I would rather him had showed a change and then made the announcement than to make the announcement and not have shown the change. Because a lot of times, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's part of a whole plan that it's going to take forever to even break that down. To be honest with you, but I feel exactly where you're coming from. It just goes a lot deeper than a lot of people probably realize, but you know, that's all right. I ain't taking away from nobody.
I hear you. It is what it is. And we believe that if he makes that confession with his heart, then it's up to the Ruach HaKodesh to do the rest of the work. So we'll leave that at that. So my next question for you, though, is going to be this. While we're on the subject of music influence and the music industry, what would you change about the current music industry, if you could?
Actually putting life back into it. Okay. A lot of people don't realize, I mean, I like multiple genres. Like, I'm not just a hip-hop or rap individual. Like, I used to listen to country, classical, you know, alternative, you know, pretty much a little piece of everything, because I just like music, period. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I feel like it's like just focusing kind of on the hip. A lot of people don't realize they have heavy metal into hip-hop, the goth look, you know what I'm saying, the goth content. You know, everything is about death. Anything that's leading to death is what a lot of people are talking about.
So true.
In hip-hop now. So people don't realize it. Like, even look at the appearance. Everybody's dressed in black. Everybody's wearing dark makeup. You know, everything's about, like, this death. Angel of Death is basically shadowing over rap and hip-hop. And a lot of people haven't realized it. So that's one thing I would definitely change, bringing life into it.
Wow.
You know, it's okay to smile. It's okay to give a person a compliment and actually mean it. It's okay to put your emotions on the track. You don't have to talk about, you know, being, you know, high or drunk out of your mind. We know how the Most High feels about, you know, speaking to the people who don't have it discovered the truth yet. You know, you don't have to be out of your mind to actually be able to listen to somebody. If you have to do that, then that's a problem. And
absolutely.
I see what the Most High is doing, and I appreciate it, because he's really dumbing down this music to the point that people are going to say, okay, enough is enough. I'm tired of the mumble rap. I'm tired of everybody talking about money, drugs, and females. You know, I need something more.
Absolutely.
You know, for my spirit. You know what I'm saying? So then they're going to start, you know, like, hey, you know, especially like you mentioned, Kendrick Lamar. The positive about that is people are going to be like, okay, he's saying that he's Israelite. Then they're going to start listening to our music. Absolutely. I know that's exactly what's about to happen.
Absolutely.
So I see how the Most High is working, you know, with that brother, whether he's awake or not. the attention is on him, then it's going to lean over to us.
Wow.
In the street.
Great analogy. That's profound to even think about it like that. And I'm sure that, it probably takes an artist to believe like that and to see, to be able to see that from the Most High, because you're absolutely right. It is absolutely right. The moment that a light is shined on something, and, the enemy tends to believe that he's doing the better of, having the agents. But, I always say, and I've always said to my wife even, the Most High has his secret agents too. He has his way of doing what he does as well. And so, having said that, though, let me ask you this question, because I as this that the Most High has given to me is a platform to be able to raise the awareness of Hebrew Israelites and what we do and how we function and all of those great things. And so in that, one of the things that I like to ask the artist is my next question to you. If reading his word is the Most High talking to us and praying is us talking to him, what is your relationship with him takes place? What in your relationship take place? Are you listening more? Are you talking more? What's going on there?
I think I'm listening more because I'm learning to be more observant. I'm trying to put the effort to do it. It's easier said than done, but I put it like this: I'm actually stopping and asking him first before I leap into stuff, because I've always been a goer, like snap, like I'm running a mile a minute, doing this, that, and the third. Now I'm paying attention when he tells me, hey, slow down and evaluate the situations first. Don't just say yes, and don't take things for face value, because that was the downfall of Adam from the beginning. He should have went to the Most High first and foremost.
Absolutely.
When something was presented to him that was out of the norm that he knew wasn't supposed to happen, he should have went to him first. So I try to use that example, in my everyday life. Stop and,
hallelujah.
Try to pay attention to what he's telling you. Like all these examples is in Scripture. Most High is giving us the game. He is giving us the game. So we just gotta pay attention.
Absolutely. I have a wonderful friend of mine, childhood friend of mine. In fact, we grew up together. But he uses this term, and it makes a lot of sense to me. He often says that the Most High has given us the business. That's what he says.
Right.
Which is absolutely true. He's given us the business, and our business, in fact, is to seek out those who are sleeping and to try and help them to see the light and to be awakened. So let me ask you this next question, and then after this, we're going to go into a quick break. But I want to ask you this question. So, having said that, and I totally agree with your answer in the fact that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So that indicates right there that we're supposed to listen twice as much as we speak. And I think a lot of times, even if you witness on Facebook and other social media, that a lot of us like to do a lot of talking. But, as you begin to listen to the conversations or you begin to see the posts, you start to understand that they do a lot talking than they do listening. And so if they had the evidence of listening, then what they're saying and talking about would make a whole lot more sense. So I absolutely agree that we need to have balance in our lives. But let me ask you this question. So as an artist, as a woman of the Most High, a daughter of the Most High, let me ask you this. What do you absolutely feel is your purpose in life?
My purpose in life, I feel, is just, Christ kind of passed the torch. You know what I mean? I feel like we're supposed to strive in what he was doing when he walked this earth, which was waking up the people who are asleep, be the example of what they're supposed to do, doing a lot more walking than a little less talking.
I hear you. Absolutely.
And I'm working on that, because really the world teaches you got to have an opinion about everything, but the scriptures tell you there's a time to just be quiet.
Absolutely.
To just show people that you're about what you're saying, so that's definitely working on. I feel like that's my life purpose, is to be the light of those around me. There's definitely a positive with the whole social media. We're able to reach a broader audience, so all praises that we have that outlet while we still have it, and use it as because there's so many negative examples. You're definitely going to shine brighter if you're not going with the crowd. If you're going against the grain, you're going to shine brighter. So I really feel like my life's purpose is to give glory to the Most High and just try to follow in His Son's footsteps, like the best that I can, you know.
Well, you know what? I totally agree with that, and I think that is absolutely awesome that you feel that way. And let me say this, brothers and sisters, there it is from Sister Amina Yakar. I believe, I hope I'm saying that right again.
Oh,
Amina.
no, you're right.
Amina. So we're going to take a quick break, y'all, right here on WITP Radio. And again, my guest is this wonderful Sister Amina Yakar, and we're going to be right back with her in just a moment. But check this out. This is one of her joints, and I know we love it here on WITP Radio.
Just want to give all the glory and all the praise to the Most High for opening my eyes to this truth.
You're listening to WITP Radio. We're awakening a nation through music, talk, news, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of YAHUAH, the Most High.
Y'all, I think it's one of the hottest joints that's hitting the airways today. It is definitely on point. It's called Awaken, and it's off of her. Is it a single, sister, or is it off of an album?
Oh yeah, it's just a single. I haven't released any music from the album yet, but I will be doing that soon. So that was just something I had put out as soon as I started messing around with the music. I definitely needed something for people to hear, so I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. All praises to the Most High. That was just not coming out song.
Well, I think you have to know that I think it's one of the joints that we use here at WITP behind one of our station identifications, and my kids, my wife, we all love it. We absolutely heard it, and my search was on. My searchlight was like, we got to get this sister. We've got to get her. We got to get her. I just think that your presentation is awesome. You show forth in your presentation how much you love and you care, and you hold the Most High in high esteem, and your life light reflects that. And please continue to be that type of artist, because I'm going to tell you right now, no doubt about it, you probably got a billboard down in the other place, down in hell, because Satan wants what you have. No doubt about it. But I thank the Most High that He has chosen you to be a light in this darkness that we are in right now, and I thank you for sharing the gift.
It's all Him. I'm just glad He's using me to put this stuff out. This is His music.
Well, I can definitely tell you this: He's using you now. The rest is up to you, but He's definitely doing that, and it is going to be our absolute pleasure to push your projects as hard and as high and as much as we can do, and give it the platform that it absolutely deserves. But again, we are so happy to have you here with us, and we thank you for taking this opportunity to do this interview with us, because again, the music is very well received on WITP Radio, and we know that there are other set apart stations out there. However, I'll tell you a truth, and I know they may not want to admit it, but we kind of listen and watch each other to see what's going on with each other, to see what's hot. Because when I was in the world, I did radio for a station in Chicago, a station in down in Alabama, and then I did a gospel station here in Phoenix, Arizona. Things that many artists may not know, especially those that have not had the opportunity to really get deep into the music thing, is that what happens is these stations, these secular stations, have these A&R people, the P&R people, the public relations people that send CDs out to their companies and to their stations, and so then what happens is Nielsen put out a playlist. And so according to that playlist is what we play, and that's how that song gets to be number one. And, it's all politics. I don't care what people say.
Right.
With us, what we have to do is we have to almost go out and seek for the music and the artists. And, to be honest with you, I was never a hip-hop fan. I'm an older guy. I was never a hip-hop fan. So, everything that was out there, I was like, oh, my goodness, everything is hip-hop. Everything is rap. Everything is this. Give me something else, please. And so as I would come across artists that actually use their vocals, and let me say this for the record, I love what all set-apart artists do. So don't get it twisted. We absolutely play a lot of what I call Hebrew hip hop here on WITP radio. But if I had to ask, give me the Valadiers and the Songstress, because that's my background. That's where I come from. And so that's what I love to hear. So I thank you for that. I'm going to move on with our interview so that we don't have to hold you up all afternoon. But as we go forward, a lot of people feel that Hebrew hip hop is just another road for artists who are trying to get to the world stage of hip hop in the music industry. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that. I mean, I can see where people can feel that way, but you got to understand, like, first of all, nobody's perfect. Nobody's got it together. And just like any group or community of anything, there's going to be people with good intentions and there's going to be people with bad intentions. You're going to be dealing with people who haven't shook certain characteristics they had in the world coming to the truth yet.
Okay.
Some of them are still dealing with the vanity. Some of them are still dealing with the pride and the ego and the spirit of having to be competitive and wanting to be on top.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you're going to deal with that with certain people. So I wouldn't say most people are doing that. I mean, the realization we need to come to is we all have a single goal in hand, which is waking up to sleep. And if we know that we're all kind of working together, you know what I'm saying, under the Father's will, then that type of mentality wouldn't necessarily be there. And I've seen it firsthand. Some people are like, using it for their livelihood. This is kind of what they want to do to earn money and things like that. I'm going to tell you right now, we dealing with Israel right now. So as of right now, if you paying all your bills off of this street music, you are great, because I don't see it.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest. So you got to just have the love for it and know that you're doing the will of the Father. You can't be psyched out as far as like, this is my livelihood, this is how I'm going to feed my children, because that's when the problems start. That's when you start thinking worldly. That's my opinion, though. You
are absolutely on point with that. That's no doubt about that. And I don't mean to cut you off, but let me tell you, I was in study this morning, and one of the things that I realized is that throughout the Torah, throughout even the New Testament, it talks about they that wait upon the Most High, he shall renew their strength. A lot of times, people don't understand that the waiting is where we have an opportunity to make sure that our motives are pure. Because in the waiting process, that's where everything that's not supposed to be there should be fallen off. Because the scripture says that every man's work is going to be tried. There will be a day when every man's work is going to be tried to see what it is it's made of. Now, how is it going to be tried? It's going to be tried by fire. And the reason why our works are tried by fire is because at the end of that process is when it is presented to the Most High. And the Most High then judges it for what it is purely.
Right.
And that's where our reward or our judgment comes in at. And so a lot of people, often ask the question, well, why is it taking me so long to get on? Why is it taking me so long to get blessed? Why I've been in this thing for a while? Because you have not yet understood that the process was for you. If you were to bring what you originally presented to the Most High, you'd be in trouble. You would just be in trouble. And so every man's work is tried by fire before it is brought to the Most High for judgment. And I think that that's one of the things that we have to make sure that we're well aware of is our motives for doing what we do. And if our hearts are not right, if our motives are not right, then it's going to tell off on us. And when the fire tests what we are doing, when we say it, it will burn away all the impurities, all the things that are not righteous will be gone. And if you want to be left standing, if you want yours to be tried and be left standing at the end as something that was purely presented for the Most High, then I think you ought to make sure that your motives are correct. I just wanted to get that in there because as I look at
you're absolutely correct, and I have a little bit of a testimony as far as that. Now, the people that I gather with now, we've been gathering for like almost 2 years. Like, there's a really good handful of people in my group that do music, and we've been known it since we started gathering. But it's like we never was like, oh, we need to do a track, we need to do this, da da da. Like, we was just focused on studying, getting this word, doing that. We never even really mentioned the music like that. And then you have to trust the Most High's timing because how he did it was so perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, came out of the blue. Like, I did that one song, and it just reached so many people. I got booked for shows. Artists was wanting to work with me and things like that. Like, it really just happened overnight, I promise you. And it was like, that's when you know the Most High is working on it when it's all him.
Absolutely.
Because I wasn't trying to do anything, really. I was really trying to just focus on what I need to do and get this truth because just like everybody else who's in it, I was tired of being played. So, and I was doing music in the world, but I was just like, I just need to leave that alone and just focus on what's important. So as far as that, like I said, there's a group of people, I have people who was actually in the music industry, had a really big name in it, that's in my body. But we just never even took it there. We were like, and the Most High was just, hey, it's time. You have gotten to a level that I need you to start out this music. We should be at a place where the Most High wanted us to be, or he would allow us to even take it there.
Absolutely.
So just trust on the Most High's timing, like let's please the Father, because he told us if we're doing what
to you, the scripture says that if we wait upon him, that he will renew our strength. So everything that has cost you, everything that you have had to pour into the project for the sake of the body of YAHUAH, for his sake, everything that you have done, he said, whatever is right. I in fact, as a point of note, that there are artists that as soon as a label approached them with, as soon as the label says part music, we want you to do this, they will give you, so many times wasn't right and pure from the beginning. But if you, Shaul that says,